So welcome everybody. Ciao. I am speaking English because we're many. Welcome to Close Encounters of a Dance Kind. Where are our bodies? The question of in between. And I am standing in between people I know and some people I don't know, some people arriving. Today is actually the first day of ANTISEZONA offline at MSU. So our first ANTISEZONA block was supposed to start in March, and then all of this has happened. So for 2 months we have been running online and live situation, which has come out from our need to keep on making work, to keep on being paid for making work, and to keep on sharing work and affirming being together. So most of you who are here have been participating in this format as performers, as audience, as conversation partners, and our desire in opening up this format is to look back at what has happened and at the same time to look at what's happening right now. Again, this. Some of the people here have been making work in Zagreb and streaming it online. Some of the people here are online today. Some of these people have joined some of our online programs and as audience and as people talking to us. And it has somehow also been a chance for us to connect more than just people who are here. So I will just introduce you. This is Martina from Chile, where it's 12 o'clock right now. This is Ifan, who is sitting in her flat in Montpellier. This is Mary, whose image is not there yet. Mary has been here last autumn performing How to Be Afraid in Perspective Festival, and she has been joining also some of our online conversations. And this is Umberto Lancia, who's at the moment in Ljubljana in the protest against government, and he has also been performing in our online and live. The protest starts at 7. But the policemen are already out there, I can tell you. I saw them yesterday. So anyway, maybe I'll introduce also the people who are here. So this is Eva and Nerina, who is one of the ANTISEZONA organizers. This is Dora, Viktoria, Anna, and Thea, who have been performing found choreography. Jasen, Vodenica, Melona Patafizika. This is Irma, this is Anna, one of the ANTISEZONA people, this is Martina and Nina, who have been making the Devil's Advocate work that Jasen was also part of. And this is this is Dora, who has been documenting, Mia, who has been Devil's Advocate, Selma, who's a lover of ours, and we have some other people watching and supporting with us. So that's us right now, and this is our chance in the next 1 hour to find out how in this connected, disconnected, dangerous, loving space we can share something. And the score will be such that we invite everybody to share something. It can be a thought, it can be a dance, it can be a moment of stillness, it can be a shout, it can be whatever. And then contribute a question. And a question can also be whatever your question is in this moment right now. Then once the question is in the air, anybody who feels called is invited to answer this question, then share whatever they want to share, and then ask another question. And this is how we are going to try to run the next hour, and then we'll see where we are going to get and what we are going to exchange and how messy it will get. Claro? Sí. Great. Okay. Let's try something. Do you still hear me? The online people? Is this more comfortable? Yeah. Good. Cool. So actually, like if I think of what I have to share, I think I have already shared something. I have tried to create this space out of a personal need and a personal doubt, and a personal worry and a personal love, and then all of that also professional, worry, love, doubt, need. So I think I've done my sharing, and I'll ask like the question, and the question is, why do you make art right now?
So I spent last 2 days actually in this space helping performance at least to happen, because that is what I do. What I want to share, I have some lots of some thoughts and quotes and stuff that I've been working recently on in some other projects, and some lots of thoughts and ideas, and trying things how to resources how to connect to my physical and somatic self and my emotional or thought self. And then I came to, out of all this, I was thinking of what am I going to share. So there is just one sentence that is actually in Croatian, but originally it's in English, so it is going to be double translation, but never mind. And it is from, I don't remember who it's from, but it says in Croatian, pružam ruke da dodirnem tebe i da uspostavim odnos koji će nakon nekog vremena uspostaviti mene. And I think it is the same author that you were quoting in the last piece with Sonja. Thank you.
Politics of touch.
Politics of touch. So in English, it is something, I extend my arms to touch you, and I will touch you, to establish a relationship that will, after certain amount of time, establish me. So this is what I'm able to share now, and my question to anybody, to everybody, is how do you concentrate in this time in between? I feel now that we are so in between, and I feel that my concentration is just very strange. So that is what I put in space. How do we focus? How do we concentrate?
Marina, is that you answering?
how do we concentrate? How do I concentrate? How do I focus? I guess it's like one way is to kind of just show. Let's see if this works. Okay, that's okay. So through this device, I'm reviewing a few things that I've been thinking about. This is the email inviting me to this event, and it asks to bring a thought, a quote, a song, a dance, or a fantasy of a dance, which describes the experience of the time of now, or a burning, soothing question. And so I was thinking about a fantasy of dance, and these questions of where we're coming from, where we are, and let's see. So I just have all of these tabs, which is partly addressing the question of my focus, but the focus is always somewhere. And okay, so it's just stitching together a lot of things. But here's one thing that I think is an interesting reference for the moment. It's a project from a pair of artists from the 70s, Kit Galloway and Sherry Rabinowitz, who developed in I think 75 to 77 the Satellite Arts Project, and it was a space with no geographical boundaries. The objective to demonstrate for the first time several performing artists, all of whom would be separated by oceans and geography, could appear and perform together in the same live image. So they developed a method to bring together dancers actually from disparate areas in one image. So it was called Place as Image. And they were dealing with the sort of reality of this, what I think they call thick time, these kinds of delays, and I find it an interesting reference that like some of the very first experiments with this kind of technology was in an invitation to dancers and the question of embodiment and presence, and I'm coming from an area from new media that then kind of led me into this beautiful community of dance in Zagreb, and then in these times kind of returning back to this new media, sort of ironically, and so that's so again going back to these tabs and this fantasy of a dance. At the moment, corresponding concurrent to this is choreografia Fantazia Broj 5, which this is now a Google translation of the description of another dance performance happening in Zagreb. And it's the architecture of time, follows the suggestion of Jean-Paul Sartre, who says that the fabric of time is evidently organized structure, blah, blah, blah. No offense to Mariana, but my question is, where is Mariana Kreitmeyer? And my question is actually, my fantasy of the dance is choreografia Fantazia Broj 6, and it's when Mariana Kreitmeyer turns the camera on herself and performs for me where she is. So my question is, where is Mariana Kreitmeyer?
Well, I can answer that question because I'm one of the dancers. But I'm just gonna leave this here as an answer to how do I concentrate. Well, Mariana Kreitmeyer is in Columbus, Ohio, and it's been very interesting to actually work with her since she was on Zoom all the time. And for me, a girl who has never met her and never seen her live. It's a really interesting thing to only see her through camera and only heard her voice through camera and work with her only through camera. There was this one time that she didn't have internet, so she wasn't in her room, and that's when she actually changed the space where she was in. And it was really interesting to see her in a different context, see her in a different way, in a different space, in a different light. So in some way that was her little theatrical performance for us.
She was always in the same space, and how she looks like a professional in the game, or it's
well, considering that we had rehearsals, at her time it was 7 in the morning. From 7.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you at all.
I guess we have to speak a little bit louder for the...
So, at her time it was 7 o'clock in the morning. Our time it was 1 o'clock. And it lasted until her time 2 o'clock, our time 8 o'clock. And she was always, like, she was in rehearsal with us. She had the trousers and she had this really relaxed shirt. It wasn't a pajama, it was like she was in rehearsal in the studio with us, so she would be comfortable, so she wouldn't be hot. And in a way it was something that, okay, so she's not in jeans or she's not in pajamas, she's really, like, what she's wearing is helping her be with us, be in the work.
I have some thoughts on how do I concentrate in this time. So lately, my head is like really chaotic. It's chaos. I have so many thoughts and so many questions about my being, actually. So I need to write things down from like simple stuff. How do I feel today? Just to put that in some box. Okay, this is me today, my emotional body today, okay? And if I'm sad, I can leave it there and just watch it from outside sometimes. And then what does my body need? And then can I just be good to myself and just breathe? Yeah, I don't have an answer, but it helps me like clear things, like to I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. I just started something. I do not know how to put it more simple or to elaborate. I just wanted to share that I like this. Not knowing how to put this and this and this. But I do want to share one more thing. picture. It's actually a painting from a Macedonian artist, Tomić, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And this is actually me. My emotional body, my thoughts, my inspiration. Why do I do art?
Will you come close, just for them to see?
Maybe to make things more simple, I just ask myself what color I am today. Yeah, and maybe my question is, how is this time transformative for you? I don't know. What is the change that's happening to all of us?
What's the change
Yeah.
that's happening
To all of us.
to all of us?
What's it? What is it?
Well, I can't say for all of us, but I can say for my relation to what happened. And
Nina, I think you need to speak a little bit louder for Marina and
I
Iva.
will come closer.
But you want the microphone to not have to shout?
But then I don't see. No, but I, in a weird way, I found it very hard to live in the moment. And especially when you have a history of dealing with anxiety, it's very difficult to really work on living in the moment. And somehow for me, what I really learned is to really stay as present as possible, because really nobody can know how things will develop. And for me, I just have the feeling that the world is much more anxious and precarious altogether, and then it somehow feels very close to me. And I feel more calm and easier to focus now. So, and to embrace this, and to embrace this laziness, and the pressure of productivity is fewer here in our context. And I can say I really enjoy some of these things. The quarantine really did well to me. Like, I really enjoyed it. I found pleasure in it. Do I need to ask something now? How are you lazy if you are lazy?
Huh?
How are you lazy if you are lazy?
How are you lazy if you are lazy?
I will answer. I think like lazy for me is most of the time when I'm actually thinking, and especially in this period of time when like this overthinking, and like how this is like the safe zone, which is not at all safe actually. This process of constantly thinking and making a lot of not necessary thoughts, which is like going and put me in one aspect of laziness. Maybe it's a little bit weird, but I actually feel much more productive when I'm not thinking so much, and when I'm not so much in the head, and when I'm doing practical things actually. This is why I'm also considering myself now if I'm even wanted to stay in art or stay in this thinking. Yeah, so I'm really in a big also space between if this like how to go forward or backwards, to stay lazy and in this sort of thinking process, or actually how to start doing something and take stuff in my hands and actually produce something. Well, also on the little base and some practical stuff, or maybe some bigger stuff, I don't know. But yes, maybe it's not so complete answer, but yeah, somehow how I see laziness now in my world in these months. Yes. Question. I don't know. Okay, really simple. How are you? Where are you finding motivation for making art, and what is your motivation for making art? Not just right now, usually in life, and maybe is it changing now in this period of COVID, and or is the same like before? And I don't know, because for me now I really don't have a big motivation for making art, so I'm looking like for other people maybe also what is the motivation, because now I'm really in a period of like no motivation at all.
No, because I was thinking the whole time about the first question, which somehow which relates to this question now.
Victoria.
I have to speak louder.
There's people in Chile.
Okay.
Listening to us.
Sorry.
And I would love to connect you to them.
Yeah, because maybe yes.
Would you
because
prefer?
I'm usually a little bit quieter.
You just have to turn it on.
No. Yes. No.
Very loud person.
Yeah. I was thinking about the first question, and it relates to the question that Dora asked right now for me, because a couple of weeks ago I talked to my friend who is a musician, and she asked me the same question actually. Why do you do what you do? Why are you a dancer? Why? And it's beyond the answers that I had before, that it is like the only thing I know how to do, or I do it for so many years now that I don't know what to do. It became beyond that, that it's now the thing I think I can impact the people that are the thing that can give me a chance to maybe change something, or relate to someone, or impact someone, or move someone, and it's the thing that still motivates me to do it further. And yeah, when I have doubts about it, I think it's the thought of moving someone with the thing I do, or making them mad, or I don't know, just shaking someone who is watching. It's the thing that makes me do it further. Yeah. Yeah, I had a question, but I don't know if I want to ask it right now. Maybe I would like to, I don't know, I would like for everyone, each person, to just take a new spot in this room, just to change it up a little bit, and I don't know, maybe if someone wants to, yeah, we can do it right now. And maybe I would like to, I have a poem that was really moving for me through this time of quarantine, and I know I knew it before, but then just something reminded of me of it during this time. It's in Croatian, so I'm sorry. It's called Bossa pjesma. Alan Brkarić. Odlučio sam napokon izuti se, ljeto dočekati bos. Uspostaviti makar pa kakvu stabilnost, ideju osobnog napretka. Dok oko mene svi plaču i svijet se raspada. Sve sami dobri ljudi, zaljubljeni i gusti. Sve sami udlici, sve same zvijeri naučene oštriti vlastitu smrt. Ako se ne izujem, i ja ću postati jeziva sloboda. Odlučio sam živjeti malo izvan grada, malo izvan svega. Sklopiti oči i zalijevati tisuće biljaka tvoje budućnosti, brati ih, ispirati zemlju s njih i s lica tvog oca. Pretvoriti život u doručak, sve samo utjehu i mudrost, dok oko nas svi plaču i svijet se raspada. Yes. And it's the thing I wanted to share now. Maybe I don't have a concrete question, but maybe some of this made someone think of something else. Yeah, that's all.
So I was thinking about first thing. So when Sonja asked the first question, and then after Dora was talking about her experience, and you also with this poem. And I was thinking when I was hearing you, like, wow, shock somebody in the audience or change somebody. I really want to feel that, but I'm too, I would not say depressed, but I lost this sparkle to change something because I had it. And then I thought, okay, I cannot change anybody or anything with art. I can just imagine. And then I was thinking to sing, because there is also a question that somebody asked, maybe I think you, there when you said, what do I need to know or something like that, and then I, because I didn't prepare, because I'm still running, even though I was also running in this lockdown, and I was jealous maybe a little bit on people who had time to read and watch Netflix, because I didn't have this time. And then, I was not jealous, don't get me wrong, but I was really wanted to have this time for yourself, and I couldn't. And then I started and then I was driving in my car and I heard some song, and so I want to share this song. I think you know. They ask what do you know or what do you need to know, and then I ask myself, okay, I can imagine that I can sing because I cannot sing. So I want to maybe invite you to karaoke. I'm shaking. You can maybe be loud in your houses, or maybe I can even put lyrics so everybody can see. See? So maybe we can sing if you want. The microphone.
Nothing ever happens, and I wonder. I'm trying to run in my car, I'm driving fast, I'm driving too far. I'd like to change my point of view. I feel so lonely, I'm waiting for you, but nothing ever happens, and I wonder. I wonder how, I wonder why. Yesterday you told me about the blue, blue sky, and all that I can see is just a yellow lemon tree. I'm turning my head up and down, turning, 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 turning around, and all that I can see is just another lemon tree. Sitting here and miss the power. I'd like to go out, taking a shower, but there's a heavy cloud inside my head. I feel so tired, sick with my head, but nothing ever happened, and I wonder. Isolation is not good for me. Isolation, I don't want to sit on the lemon trees and run in the desert of joy. Maybe anyhow I'll get another toy and everything will happen. And you wonder. I wonder how, I wonder why. Yesterday you told me about the blue, blue sky, and all that I can see is just another lemon tree. I'm turning my head up and down, turning, 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 turning around, and all that I can see is just a yellow lemon tree. And I wonder why. Yesterday you told me about the blue, blue sky, and all that I can see, and all that I can see, and all that I can see is just a yellow lemon tree. Thanks so much. Okay. Another question. The question would be, do you think that we can change the world, or we can just imagine? No, not imagine. Imagine it, yeah.
There's a person who spent 1 month on the emails so that some people can have money in the corona time.
So I don't actually have an answer, but I do have a quote that I also don't know the answer to, but it's by Milan Kundera, and he says, "People are always shouting they want to create a better future. It's not true. The future is an apathetic void of no interest to anyone. The past is full of life, eager to irritate us, provoke and insult us, tempt us to destroy or repaint it. The only reason people want to be masters of the future is to change the past."
I also have a quote. It's by Dora. She's from Novi Sad. I will read in Serbian first and then I will translate. Imagine that everything has stopped in this way, but sorry. On the Srpski. Zamislite da je sve zastalo na ovaj način, ali iz drugog razloga. Imagine that everything stopped in this way, but for a different reason. And we can take a minute to imagine this different reason.
Can you repeat
the quote?
Yeah.
Zamislite da je sve zastalo na ovaj način, ali iz drugog razloga.
I resisted a lot of impulses to share, and I wonder if I share something now, it's hard for me to tell if somebody else is doing something.
I guess we're imagining if the world has stopped in the same way, but from a different for a different reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be a good moment to share something. What do you think?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So, I kept my video off because I didn't want to wear out my image. But then there's something kind of unfair about it, that I can see you and you can't see me. So I'm feeling that too. So I'm going to turn my camera on myself in a minute. And I brought a song and maybe some kind of dance. The song has become some kind of lockdown anthem for me. It's called Bodies in Trouble. And it's from an album from 1988, actually. It's Mary Margaret O'Hara. And I found it on somebody's Facebook feed who was doing one of those music challenges. And then it became my kind of lockdown anthem. And so my invitation to you is, as you're hearing the song, to just ask yourself, is there a part of your body that is singing this song right now? Or is your body in trouble? How can you tell? Or maybe there's some images that you've seen on social media or in the news. Body's in trouble, I don't know. But the invitation is really just to listen and feel. If you want to move, move. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you want to look at my fragmented technology dance, you can do that as well. You can hear it?
Yeah. sure that I fully understand the design. I was not invited to, I didn't prepare anything, right? So, and I'm not paid for this. No, but thank you so much for all the beautiful imitations and gestures.
Take the mic.
Oh, okay. Just for... Huh? No, just a little bit louder. Okay, so I'm really grateful for all the beautiful gestures, gifts that you all have been sharing. I would like to follow up on Nina quoting Dunja. And I was thinking how about world stopping, right? So Dunja says, can we imagine world stopping because of some other reason? But then I'm asking, or I'm thinking, or I'm feeling that worlds did stop for so many different reasons, for so many people. It was just done in a way that was that we were not aware. We were not aware of world stopping for every single person at one point in your life, in my life, in the life of my loved ones, my community, people in my town, people on, not only people, but all living, all that is in existence, right? On the other hand, I'm thinking also, of course, why did world did not stop when it needed to stop? Why did it fail to stop when somebody needed this world to stop and to fully engage? So my personal experience with this, whatever you call it, quarantine, lockdown, COVID-19, and not to go into specific health and how's it called, health and something else. No, we are kind of the propaganda, the health propaganda, right? But what I found for myself and what I would like to share are two things. So I would like to share two things at this moment is I don't want to judge and I don't want to be judged. And I would like to invite full radical transparency when in relation to someone with respect. And these two things I'm sharing because of what you have shared, what your voices were the questions of what is art, the questions of what is my motivation for art, what is change, what is embodiment, what is time, who's Martina Kreitmeyer, and all of these questions. I think for me it's really nice to think of all of them, all of these questions, without judging the success or the failure. So the yes and the no are I equally embrace. And to be able to do that, I think we need to really have or practice this radical transparency with each other. That it's really not about only, it's really about, okay, how do I really feel? How do I really manifest? How do I really embody without feeling the pressure of representation or presenting yourself in a way that it looks that it's giving the impulse of a different voice than your voice is, or your embodiment is than your real embodiment is, or your manifestation is than your manifestation as it is. So to kind of wrap up this, I would like to ask myself and us a question to think about, and also maybe we can also do something about it, is how to support Dora to find her inner voice
find her motivation, to not judge herself, and to feel fully transparent with herself, because motivation there is. And now this question can also, of course, be really, we can each find, you can also find how you can find your inner voice, to find Mariana Gojić, or, Martina, how we can support Martina to find her inner voice, to fully, accept that there is hope, and that we don't have to judge the change, because the change is there anyways, every time.
actually have some kind of answer for myself. And maybe for us. Join? I have been joined for a long time. Additional information to my answer is I hold a camera in my hand. Like I hold a spying, objectifying, capitalizing, violent tool in my hand, and I'm aware of that the same way that Mary says she's aware of keeping power by holding her image away. And how do I manage to live with this paradox? Or what my answer to the question that Selma asked herself and I'm asking myself is, so my answer is, my answer is that I move. And within that space of movement, I kind of trust that I have space to exist and to act. I move out of comfort and I move out of discomfort. I move to stay with. Trust that everything is moving as well, so it's a property. Of togetherness. And I have a question. So my question is, what's the time? And what's the time and what What is in this time for you? Large means alive. Gregor, do you want to ask us a question?
If you hear me, I put a question already in the chat because I was not sure if I'm audible. And the question is, what happens if we trust ourselves and what we do just a little tiny bit more?
Can I say?
Well, I had like two different concerns or thoughts when I was coming here. And then a third one transformed from all your sharing. And then now, and then one question just pop up to me, and now actually I have the question and the answer, maybe to myself and maybe to all these questions that were here. And it happened right away after the moving. And it's, the question was, where is love? And it really like totally surprised me that I had this actually question when I went a little bit deep in myself. And then the answer was like, in this, what I can do, like the move, that I can touch, that I can sense, that I can hear all of you, what you share. that I can support someone's leg, that I can be supported in another moment, that I can breathe. Yeah. And that one more, that I can be this inspired. Just this capacity to open to inspiration, let's say. Although I go very deep down. Sometimes, yes.
Do you have a question?
Where is love? Can we open to it, maybe more?
And this about love, I can feel that somehow love, it's right now really maybe here more than ever before, or maybe 3 years before, and somehow I'm really confident and sure that somehow it's really growing, this feeling of taking care more often of each other, and also that more and more people are honest. And this is maybe the only one thing what I'm really secure right now is actually love. And yes, and this is like, I don't know, really beautiful thing that I can really be honest, not honest, but I can really be secure that it's here and it's somehow strong and supportive and I know somehow also comfort. Yes. Yeah.
you wrote to us. What is in trouble? Mariner O'Hara from album Miss America. She can hear us. You're too loud to hear, you're too loud to speak. This was an image of me. Yes, me, we. What happens when you trust yourself and you do just a tiny little bit more? Me, we, more connected, I wonder. Ifang, is it your time to go?
Hi. There's not, I don't know, it's not kind of question, but something to share. After this last hard months, I was very pleased to refine the studio, refine the body, and refine people. The last book I work on the studio is more about not really personal question, but maybe I can consider kind of general question about appearance of forms, appearance of figures, and question about afterglow, something, the thing after, things after dance, after some kind of feeling, after some kind of sensations, after something behind the thought and awareness. And I have only one film, a really short film, realized by my collaborator Jocelyn Godonsin. And maybe I can share with you. Are you okay, Sonja, if I can activate the screen sharing?
Let's try.
Okay. Wait me. We'll see all my secrets. Okay. So this is the work which we did 1 week before in Javoran, which is in the south in south of France, and we went to the seaside during sometimes after the rehearsal, after the work, and we have this. Okay. So that was really a fresh work we just did 1 week ago. I thank you to share with me this video because you are first one to assist the short film, and we are working on, we don't know what we are going to do, because a lot of things, like all the questions I heard tonight, like why do we make art, or can we change the world, etc. I think the place we can live and to have the place of imagination, or how we can project for appearance, afterglow, space, interpret or interpretation, and so on. And also the choreography writing. Even sometimes we don't want to talk about it, but this is kind of things at this moment after the confinement I restart and I restart to work on it, and I'm still on the work, and that's all. Thank you.
Do you have a
Shall
question?
I go now? Ah, sorry.
No, go, Martina, go.
Okay, but I want to know if people there hear me well, if the audio is good.
Very well.
Yes?
Very well.
Okay. So I'll try to be short. I want to share, I've been in the last years very interested in the relationship between rules, bodies, and space, and in what way any space or any place it contains rules that shape the way we behave in that space. And this combination of things resonates a lot with the coronavirus situation, where we've been going through lots of hygiene measures, and we've been confined right now in Chile, where we're in the middle of the quarantine. You are in a deconfinement logic, but you still have to keep some measures and stuff like this. So I just I wanted that we would do this together, but I think the audio is very bad, but I would just invite you to close your eyes, and I would just read some sentences. I mean, what happens is that when we were in confinement, when you were in confinement, and now me, I'm in confinement, we've been deprived of visiting other spaces, of going outside, of being in other places. And in what way we can travel mentally to these other places so that we can get out of our confinement. I'm talking from my own perspective because I've been already 3 months confined, so that's why I just invite you to close your eyes and I will read some sentences. Okay. So, in 1 to 3, close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, this space has opening and closing hours. In this space, you cannot sleep over. In this space, you could make friends. In this space, children are not allowed. In this space, you are not allowed to smoke. In this place, some people touch. In this place, you are not allowed to touch. In this place, you can walk around naked. In this space, security rules indicate that in case of an emergency, customers are asked to exit via the escape door. In this space, you pass by a detector before leaving. In this space, you have to pay the bill to go out. In this space, there are hygiene rules to respect. In this space, you are allowed to dance close to people. In this space, there is a manifestation happening. In this space, you should tell the truth and only the truth. In this space, you think about your finances. In this space, materiality doesn't exist. Etc., etc. And so the idea was that everybody from you would come and say another sentence that could allow us to travel, thinking a bit on the idea that the theater is the place where we can create spaces. No, it's a place where it contains 1,000 spaces. So soon you will go to see a piece and rejoice yourself because you're in a frame of possibilities. And so, so my question is, do you think new spaces will be created when we reclaim back the common, the public, for together to happen? I don't know, for togetherness to happen. Sorry. That's it.
Well, yeah, you gave already a lot of tracks. Thank you. I found a lot of tracks from your reading. Thank you.
We have to find a way to
for testing.
Yes, to close this encounter. Since it's already, 20 to 8, quarter to 8, something like that. Thank you very much for joining and sharing and being and dancing and creating this space into something, I don't know what it is. I feel very emotional and kind of cleansed, because so many emotions and so many things just went out here. But I think now we have to close this and take some break, and I'm inviting you at 8 o'clock down there to see a performance that is actually going to happen really in real body and reality. Thank you so much for joining and sharing, and I hope too that we meet soon again. Somehow carry on moving.
Yes. Cool.